Peace and power, Black family. Peace and power. It's a pleasure to be here again for our weekly show, and today is just a brief one. We'll probably be joined by Brother Sabelo, and I think we will have an interesting conversation. About today, just a short discussion about the value of this party and the reason why it's coming into existence. Because simply things are not right. That's the fundamental reason that we are here. The ACUP, the African Continental Unity Party, greets you all, African family, from where you are. This is Kabbalah. I'm a member of ACUP. I'm also a member of the Free Minded. As always, if you have two shirts, this is time that you should sell one and buy a sword. If you have two shoes, this is the time that you should sell one and buy a sword, because the revolution is coming. And this revolution is no longer the revolution on the streets, is no longer even the revolution on the Facebook. The revolution this time around is in the mind. Why? Why am I talking about revolution? Indeed, why is the ACUP talking about revolution? It's because in this life, rebellion, violent or non-violent, is necessary for any process of social change. You cannot change the society if you do not start by rebelling against the existing order. You cannot change your society, you cannot change your life if you do not start by rebelling against the existing order. That is why I said rebellion, violent or non-violent, is necessary for any struggle, for any process of social change. And if we are afraid to challenge the existing order, if we are afraid to challenge the existing structure, then we are doomed to fail. Then we cannot change anything, and our lives will remain the same. If we are afraid to challenge the existing order, if we are afraid to question the existing law and the policy, we can never change anything significantly when as far as Africa is concerned. Look at the statistics. You will see yourself that now we are living in a moment of danger, but it's also a moment of opportunity, because those two things always come together. Whenever you see a danger, there is also an opportunity. You just have to open your eyes and to notice where the opportunity lies. And whenever there's opportunity, there's always been also a danger. It's like you want to invest in a business. You have always to realize, people that have invested know this. Your investment can be lost, or your investment can bring the return with high profits. So danger and opportunity are always brothers coming together. And as we're speaking right now, Africa is in a very dangerous position, but it's also an opportunity that African people can tap into. Do we realize that? Now, let me explain to you exactly what I mean by we are now in a moment of danger. You know, some 100 years ago, our world, human society, was led by religious leaders. In other words, our societies were either in Europe or in Africa. Actually started in Africa because Africa is where the human civilization started, you know. And when you remember in Egypt, pharaohs incarnated religious power as well as political power to lead their states. Same as in the modern world, just recently, European empire was all under the guidance of the Pope. So he had some political power as well as, religious power. And if you can remember, you will know that the Pope and the Catholic Church were the engineers, or actually the engineers of the slave trade. Because you can remember that the Pope told Portugal and Spain that go and reduce into slavery those infidel people who are outside of the grace of God. Don't feel guilty about enslaving them because they are outside of the grace of God. So that was a political power and also religious power. So in other words, to briefly state what I'm saying is like our countries, our nations were led by religious leaders who at the same time were also political leaders. And as time evolved, because time always evolves and things always get to change, and the existing order always get to be questioned and to be reversed. And that happened in the past. And what happened in the past is that politicians began to take over. Politicians began to take over religious leaders in leading nations. In other words, our nations now begin to be led by politicians instead of being led by religious leaders. And that's where we are right now. I'm trying to bring Brother Sabelo in, but it seems to be not allowing me. Brother Sabelo, if there's anything that you can do on your side, I'm struggling here to bring you in. Yes, as I was saying, in this phase, as we are in this phase where we are right now, politicians who have been leading our countries since they took over from religious leaders are also under the threat of being replaced. Now they are being replaced by a new class that we call the transnational capitalist class. This is a group of people who handle the world economy, who manage the world economy. They have the power and they are actually handling the world economy, the economies of the country, and they are the ones now who want to take over politicians, who want to, they have actually literally taken over, but is not yet just being officialized, in a sense that they hire politicians, they actually select politicians from the crowd, politicians that we didn't know, and they give them money and prominence because politicians don't have media, don't have TV stations and radio stations. These money managers are the ones who have the media, who have who control the mainstream, to be more precise. So they select politicians. They now hire those politicians by giving them the mandate to run the nation. Now what happens is that after they have selected politicians, they have given them the mandates. Now they expose those politicians through the TV channels and radio stations. They expose those selected politicians to the masses so that we can vote for them. So what we do when we go into elections, we only elect leaders who have been selected by people that you and I don't know, but we just participate in that conspiracy that is aiming to not giving us the power, but to put us in more precarious conditions as we are finding ourselves today in Africa. So if I have to restate myself, I said that earlier on, some centuries ago, religious bishops, priests were the leaders of our nations. And politicians took over just some centuries ago, and they make even religious becoming obsolete in a way that it doesn't have more influence in the matter of the nation. management anymore. And politicians have been leading our nations. And today, as we're speaking now, the economists, the international criminal banking cartels are the ones who have taken over now. They are now handling our states. Look at this. They have come all the way from being millionaires, you see, and today they are multi-billionaires. I guess the first person, the richest person in the world now, is got over 200 billion US dollars. So it means that they are racing to have trillions of dollars in their banking account. And still, even when they reach to trillions, it's not gonna be the end goal, because there's no end to this economic expansion in capitalist world. So the end goal can be maybe one day one person can be able to own the entire world. Because if you are watching or following the statistics, in 2016, for example, there were 62 people who were holding the half of the world wealth. You see, those 62 people had the wealth that was equivalent to the half of the world population. And 1 year later, which is 2017, only 8 men, not even women, 8 men were having the same wealth as the half of the world population. So that shows you right now that we will get to the point where one individual can earn as much as the world population, and eventually one individual can own the entire planet, can have the wealth of the entire planet. And this is a very dangerous, path in which we are right now, under the capitalism and under the Eurocentric democratic system that is really giving people the illusion of power and inclusion, but not necessarily the true power that people need. Because I believe myself, being at the grassroots level, I don't believe that what I need is for every 5 years to go and elect a coon who will put me in a precarious conditions as I was yesterday. What I need actually is the ability to create my own economic condition, to create my own reality. And that is not something that the current democratic system of voting after 4, 5, and 6 years will give to me. So we have been lied for a long time. This is time to work up, and this is time of revolution. And you must think again about the fourth industrial revolution, which is taking your job, is taking my job, is taking everyone's jobs, and then replacing us in the industry with the robots. And at the same time, the world population is increasing, exponentially. The demography of our society is expanding, and the jobs that people relied on yesterday are now decreasing. I can't even count how many graduates that we have right now, but that are jobless, because we were told to go to school and to have degrees in order to have our life, improved, in order to have a good job and a good salary. But now that theory does no longer stand, does not just make sense anymore. So the question is, what are you going to do when you look 10 years, 20 years ahead? What is your prospect? What are you going to do? What kind of hope the future reserves to you? And I'm telling you, if you have never thought about it, it's a very dangerous situation. We are going back exactly where we think we have left, which is slavery. And this time around, this slavery is not going to be monitored, is not going to be handled by human beings like you and me. It's going to be monitored and handled by the robots. Since these mega wealthy people who have now control over our politicians are more involved in the technological development, in creating what we call the super intelligence machines and autonomous robots and machines that will take decisions on their own. Exactly. They will put you back in plantation and put those robots to handle you. And there's no way that you will expect for mercy or for compassion or for whatever that you can expect from a human being. So if we do not stand up today, if we do not rise today, if we do not revolt against the existing order, we will not change the course of our lives, because this has been traced for a long time ago. The only way to change this is to begin by rebelling against the existing order. That is why at the beginning of my speech I said the rebellion, either violent or non-violent, it's necessary for any process of social change. If we want to change our society, we got to begin by questioning the existing order and the existing law. And any policy, any law that does not contribute to your betterment, it's illegal. Even if it's declared legal in terms of the system, but it becomes illegal because it does not contribute to your betterment, it does not improve your life, it does not guarantee that your children are secured, it does not guarantee that your future is secured. You see, so I know one of the factor that we are reluctant to act as we are black people is because we think of the suffering that you're gonna have to face once you embark in a journey that question the existing order. Well, but we are already suffering too much. I don't think that there's another level of suffering that is higher than what we have endured, that we are enduring currently. So we got to use this moment to change the course of our lives. And we are here to do that through the Africaine Continental Unity Party. We are a revolutionary movement. We question the system and we question any law, any policy that is not improving our lives. Because it's not legal, it becomes illegal. Why? Because the democracy, as it was defined, is the rule of the people, and all of us, we can, we can at least agree on one thing: that the current system does not work for us. It works only for some few individuals. Therefore, it becomes illegal, and we got to question it, and we got to challenge it because it's illegal, even if it was approved by the president, even if it was approved by whoever, it is illegal, and we have to question it, and we have to challenge it. That's why I invite you to join the Africaine Continental Unity Party. Through this organization, we have a chance to change the course of our lives in the moment we still have the opportunity to do so. Because time will come where a speech like this one will not going to be allowed or tolerated on the platforms that are being owned by the very same people who are the member of the transnational capitalist class, who have no other mandate but to capture the totality of our institutions and to hire our politicians so that they can enslave us more and more. Do you remember at the post-colonial Africa, most of our leaders were hired to control us by the colonial masters. They were the employees of the colonial masters to control the masses and to monitor the masses and to make sure that our wealth, our resources, we're building Belgium, we're building France, we're building England, and we're building all these imperialist powers that colonized us. That is what's going to happen again right now, and is actually happening. For example, if you look all the policies that our leaders are amending every day, most of them are controversial in terms of the public expectation. We don't expect them to do that. For example, in South Africa, during the coronavirus, the government stood up and declared other jobs, other activities, other companies non-essential. Who said so? My job, my company is essential for me because I'm depending on that. And the government just stood up, said it's non-essential, so you cannot operate this one. And they choose other category of jobs that they declared essential, and those continue to exist. And how many jobs, how many companies shut down because of those unrealistic and unimaginable policies and policies taken by the government during the pandemic situation? So This is time that we need to stand up as African people and do something of our own. This is a time that we have to come up as African people and then we build the motherland. We invite you to join the ACUP, the African Continental Unity Party. Please see the link, the website link on this Facebook page. Also, we invite you to donate to the party, because without the money, we cannot succeed in whatever that we want to do. This kind of message cannot receive a support from Eurocentric institutions. But we want to tap in our membership. If you become a member of this party and you also donate to the party, likewise other people do the same thing, we will be able to change the course of our lives and we'll be able to transform our continent. We invite you to join the party, and please, we invite you to join the revolution, which is the most important thing. This is the Continental Party. It's your party. As long as you are African, this is your party. And I leave you with this word again. The rebellion, whether violent or non-violent, is necessary for every process of social change. So if you are afraid to rebel against the existing order, then you are even afraid to change your life. You see, because if that existing order was legal and was factual and was contributing to your betterment or to the betterment of your conditions, you wouldn't have had a need to complain. If you are complaining, it's because this existing order is not really contributing to your betterment. So the only way for you to change your life is to challenge that existing order. Thank you very much for your time, and I urge you to share this video and to invite many people as you can to the party, and also to donate to the party. By doing so, you will be directly or indirectly contributing to the salvation of Africa, because that is the vision that we have, to build the continental African global power base. And you can also be part of that. And indeed, you need to be part of that, because this is not one person's job. It's all of us responsibility to serve our motherland. If we don't do that, aliens, we're never going to do that. If we don't do that, angels, we're never going to do that. It's only Africans who will one day rise up and begin to do something that will change the motherland. And who are those Africans if it's not you and me? Through your money, your skills, and your commitment. I've already committed myself, and it's only you to join this and to also commit what you have. And I leave you here, and I say peace and power to your black family, and thank you very much. See you again next time. Bye.